Hey guys, it's Ashley again with another book review, and this time it is going to be the second book in the Lone City series by Amy Ewing, which is called The White Rose. Beautiful cover, love it. So like I said, this is the second book in the series. The first book is The Jewel, which I already did a review on. The third one is The Black Key, which I am reading now. So I should be through with it soon. So the White Rose actually begins pretty much where the Jewel left off. So if you haven't read the first book, then I highly recommend it, because you're not gonna you'll understand once you start reading it probably, but you'll need to read the first book, of course, like all series. So this might be a little bit spoilery if you haven't read the first book to the series. And I try not to do a spoiler, but I don't know how good it'll be. So, The White Rose, just to kind of get you up to speed, when we last left Violet and her friend and Lucian and them, they were in Ash. Violet was locked up in her room by the Duchess of the Lake, and Ash was down in a dungeon because they were both caught together, and that can't happen in the Jewel. And so they're trying to figure out a way how to get out of this. So this is pretty much where and the very last part of the Jewel, Violet gets a call on her communicator thing that they call, I think it says Arcana, or I'm not really sure how to say it, but it's like a little communicator, and the voice she recognizes says, "Don't worry, we're going to help you." And that voice happens to be Garnet, which is the Duchess of the Lake's son. So that was a big surprise. And of course, since we find out that it was him, we get to see a lot more from him in this book, which I'm happy about, because I don't know, just because he was this bad boy in the Jewel and we didn't get a whole lot of info about him or what he was really like or his attitude or whatever, in this book we definitely get to see more Garnet and what he is like. And he's a bad boy, yes, but he shows another side to him, and he shows that he is fighting for Violet's cause, for Lucian's cause, for all their causes, to destroy the Jewel and the royalty. So he's kind of their inside guy, I guess you could say. So yeah, he is on the beginning of the book. He talks to Violet and tells her, they're gonna find a way to get her out of what she's in. And of course, she's not gonna go anywhere without Ash, so they have to find a way to get him out as well. And she's also not gonna go anywhere without Raven, which is her best friend, who is stuck in the house, the Countess of the Snow. And we don't really know a whole lot about what went on with Raven, but we find out in this book that she was like their lab rat, I guess, over there, and they went in her brain and messed around with her brain and just kind of, I guess, almost ruined her. And we find out that she is pregnant and all this other stuff. And so yeah, there's a whole lot going on in this book now, which I kind of enjoy a lot. I think I like this book a little bit more than I like the Jewel, because Violet gets her freedom somewhat, and we get to see more of Violet herself. We get to see more of Raven. We get to see more of Garnet. We get to see more of Ash. We get so much more of these characters that we kind of can fill them out and know what they're about. So yeah, this is definitely better. A really good second book. It doesn't have that second book syndrome going on. And so they, so Garnet, Violet, Raven, and Ash, when they all finally get out, or he gets them out, they have a journey. They're going on a journey. I mean, they've got to find a way to get out of the Jewel and to this secret place that Lucian has for them without being caught by the regimentals, I think? Which are the bad guys, basically, the guards. So yeah, they definitely go on a journey because Ash is a fugitive because he's wanted for raping Violet, which we know was false, of course. And so his face is plastered everywhere in the city and in other cities and other parts. So they have a bit of a tough time trying to, get to where they're going. And Violet doesn't really have a hard time because the Duchess pretends that she's still there with them and she's just in hiding. So they go through stuff they go through trains to get to where they need to be, and we get to see kind of where Ash grew up in the companion house. We get to meet one of his friends or his roommate, and we learn that companions don't really have this wonderful life that everyone thinks they do as well. I mean, they're trained to fight, they're trained to seduce women, their life sucks. It's horrible. And we get to see that and why Ash is like he is. And we get kind of to see who Ash's family is. We get to meet his sister. And so they go through that, and they kind of have help there through his friend Rye. And then they get on a train. We go into, I think that's in this, they're in the smoke or whatever. We get to meet the thief, which is part of this secret society, which is called the Black Key. And he's just a child, so he's helping them as well. And once they get through all that mess, they find this place called the farm. I think it's the farm? I'm not really sure. I guess I didn't take really good notes this time. But it's only a place that surrogates can usually find. And so when they see it, they get to meet this lady named Syl, which is a really old surrogate. And she was actually the surrogate that made the Duchess of the Lake. And so she's this person who starts to teach Violet that Violet's powers and the auguries that she has is not really supposed to be used for the twisted ways that the royalty wanted to use them. She teaches Violet that they should be more in tune with the elements, earth, fire, wind, water. And so she starts Violet on those lessons, and when Violet learns that her friend may die, she kind of goes somewhere and feels the power of the elements. And that starts the whole new journey for Violet, becoming this other person and this kind of like a leader in this revolutionary little war thing they're gonna start. So she's a very strong person, and I really like Violet. She goes from this surrogate who is on a leash and all this to this person who wants to fight against the royalty. I can't speak. And so they pretty much plot and find a way to get into the Jewel. So her and Raven have to go, or her and Raven and get these other girls from each of the other facilities. There's Southgate, Eastgate, Westgate, and Northgate. And Raven and her are from Southgate. So they have to they get these 3 other girls from the other facilities. They get Sienna, which is from Northgate, I believe. And she was in the other book. But they didn't really use her name. They didn't really say a whole lot about her. They just said that she was this kind of like an ice queen, I guess. Something like that, I can't remember. And then they get Olive, which she is a little bit harder to kind of pull into the circle because she still thinks what she's doing with the royalty is what she's supposed to do, and she wants to be with the royalty, and she likes the royalty. She doesn't think they're trying to hurt her or anything. And then there's Indy, who is ecstatic about her new life and is glad she's out of the jail. And so you got all these different personalities trying to come together and work together. And this is what Violet is dealing with. So they all get Violet shows them that feeling of being connected with the elements. But unlike Violet, they are only connected to certain ones, whereas Violet's connected to all 4. So then their plan starts, and they have to go to each facility and get the girls who are supposed to be in the next auction, which was moved up, and just kind of train them and let them know what was going on. And then kind of at the end of the book, we learn that the Duchess of the Lake, her surrogate that she supposedly has, is pregnant. And everyone's like, what? Because, her surrogate, she's not there. It was Violet, and she's not there apparently. But they learn that she has kidnapped another surrogate. And I'm pretty sure once they said that, I knew with my heart who this was going to be. And it turns out I was right, which is really sad. And I'm hoping everything works out for Violet. And just that part of the ending part was pretty much, I knew it was going to be her. I knew it was going to be this girl. But yeah, like I said, this book had a lot more to it, and there's not really anything I can think of that I disliked about this book. I pretty much liked everything. I liked all the characters. I'm glad that we got to meet, we got to learn more about Ash. I'm glad we got to see Garnet a whole lot more and see him defy his mother and the royalty that he was, and it's just a great thing. And I'm also hoping that another little thing happens between some of the characters. So it kind of seems like it might. And I really want those characters to be happy. So, if you're wondering if this is a book worthy of being number 2, it definitely is. So, if you've read The Jewel and you haven't read this one, I recommend it. Definitely read it because it's much better. If you have any questions or comments, just leave them below and I will get back to you. I will see you guys next time for another book review. Bye.